Hi there, and welcome to my channel. My name is John Stoddard, and I'm your guide to mastering the deal flow system. With years of experience in buying businesses, selling, and raising capital, I've dedicated myself to teaching the art of deal flow, deal review, and deal financing. This channel is born out of the challenges and questions posed by you, aspiring deal makers and seasoned professionals. I've encountered numerous individuals struggling with understanding how to create deal flow, making critical decisions in reviewing deals, and navigating the complex world of deal financing. My mission is to address those issues head on. The journey of learning how to navigate and master the deal making process is fraught with potential pitfalls. I've seen many costly mistakes, like misjudging a deal's potential or misunderstanding the nuances of deal financing. It's imperative to arm yourself with the knowledge to avoid these common traps. Here at Deal Flow System, education is our cornerstone. We dive deep into teaching you how to analyze, evaluate, and finance deals effectively. It's not just about making any deal, it's about making offers on good deals. If you're looking to buy a business and want professional analysis of a potential deal, I'm here to assist you with personalized guidance. Thank you for joining Top M&A Entrepreneurs channel and the Deal Flow System community. I'm excited to embark on this journey with you. See you on the next video.
Welcome to the Top M&A Entrepreneurs. Today, my guest is John Akhoian. He is from Router Hero, and he's made two company HVAC acquisitions, and now he's on a couple tuck-ins, and now he's on a rapid growth in Southern California of Router Hero. Welcome to the show, John.
Thank you. Thanks, John. Good to be on your show.
Yeah, so I've got to ask you about this. Looks like you started Router Hero back in 2011. What were you doing before then?
So I was an owner. I've been a plumber since I was 17 years old. So I've been in the trades for a long time. I had several plumbing companies, and right around before opening it, right around the time of opening it, I owned some franchises. I was a franchisee, actually, one of the largest franchisees in the space, and eventually sold my franchises and bought myself out of some non-competes and opened up Router Hero Plumbing.
Yeah.
And now it's Router Hero Plumbing and Air.
Yeah, and you, the name Router Hero, you created the name?
Yeah, I had a co-founder who's retired now that helped me, and I always liked the hero name. So we quickly went and trademarked the term hero in home services, and got the trademark on plumbing, drain cleaning, HVAC, and electrical. And then just figured we're in the drain cleaning space, so Router Hero Plumbing is probably the best way to start, and then eventually we'll get into other trades, which we have now.
Now, let me ask you about these. How you started out. Now you have companies in offices all the way to Phoenix, 250 trucks. Is that right?
Yeah, a little more now. I think we're like in the 3.25 mark now.
Wow, fantastic. And how when you restarted this, did you have a specific niche you were going after and say, hey, we're not going to do all of this stuff. We're just going to do drain cleaning?
That was specifically how we started. Yeah, it was primarily drain cleaning and plumbing service for residential homes. So that was our small niche. It was like residential owner-occupied homeowners that have, problems with drains. And so majority of our mix was about a 70-30. We had 70% drains and 30% plumbing. And now, the mix is, we have drains, plumbing, and some HVAC work as well.
So you do vents cleaning also. Yeah.
Yeah, we do cleaning, we do installation, we do service, we have warranty, maintenance programs as well.
Yeah. And then fast forward, you purchased a company called Specialty Contracting Group. Is that the first one, or is that the second?
I think that was a group that was going out of business. We actually just purchased their phone numbers and kind of tucked it into one of our branches.
Oh, I got you. So it was just kind of an asset purchase with phone numbers that
Yeah,
you just
sort of.
took
Yeah.
over. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Exactly.
Why were they going out of business? What was the story on that?
Well, if it's the group I'm remembering, it was a fund. It was sort of like a fund group that went into purchasing several HVAC and plumbing operations, and they just had bad management, and they didn't know how to run a plumbing company. They didn't know how to run an HVAC company. So it just, wrong fit type of people, and then they really didn't know any better. So the management that was currently there, they kind of, like didn't allow them to do certain things, and the company eventually started losing a lot of money. So they were ready to get out.
Yeah. Buy the assets. You
Yeah.
purchased Can Do Plumbing in 2023. What was that? How big was that?
That was a small company, and that was also an asset purchase. Owner of the company um, did something weird, sort of like sold the rights to the name to somebody, and then was still leasing it back. Small 5 truck operation, and he used to work for us, so we ended up getting him out of some debt that he was in, and now he's running under one of our divisions as a field manager.
Yeah. That wasn't really something strategic on your path. Was it a target of opportunity that just came along, or?
We just wanted to help him out. He was just kind of, in a situation where, the company wasn't going to grow. The name didn't even belong to him anymore because he sold the rights to the name. So it
That's
was
odd.
this
I got to tell you,
weird
that sounds
scenario.
odd. Yeah.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Yeah. And what else did you acquire as a
So
roll up of?
we had a couple of small HVAC companies that got us into the HVAC business up in Northern California and one in Southern California. And we've tucked that into our branches as well. And now we have a mix of HVAC service that we do as well. I am looking right now. We're opening up a greenfield operations in Northern California. Another one. We opened one up last year. We're opening up another one. Um, Next week I'm actually going to be up there, and we have a couple of greenfields that we're doing in Arizona and Nevada as well. So.
Yeah. Phoenix is
I'm
growing like crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're just, going in, and a lot of it is happening with our own staff. I mean, we have great people that want to, continue to grow, and we offer equity packages for our management team. So a lot
Yeah.
of them
Tell
are
me.
growing within the company.
So you got a whole bunch of locations. How many locations now? 15?
We have, well, we kind of, we had about 13, and then we combined some locations. So we're at 10 locations. We'll be at 11 by the end of the year. And then we have a couple we're going to open up next year, early on into the year. So we'll be back up to 13.
Yeah. And what is each location kind of average? Now, this is all a private business, right? I'm not
Yeah.
expecting you to hit.
Yeah, I mean, our average location, we have locations that do 20 million plus in revenue. We have locations that do 5 million plus in revenue. So I'd say the average is at around 10.
Yeah.
Um,
Where's the
but
20 million revenue? What kind of location demographics do you serve there?
I mean, the demographics are all over. I mean, we have demographics of, like either they're combined. We have a couple in Northern California. We have some in Southern California. And it's just the matter of, like putting the team together. And a lot of it is just putting marketing dollars towards it, and then
Yeah.
acquiring and putting together the teams that are out there. The local management usually plans their own growth. So we help them budget whatever they need. And then we provide all the assets that are necessary and the support as well to help the local management grow the divisions they're running.
And is that from zero, or is that making an acquisition of existing
Oh no,
kind of?
we've had locations that went from 0 to 20 million in like 3 to 5 years. So yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, it's
Do you have a
some
location
of
in
it is.
Tucson?
We don't have one there. We used to. We sold it. Our non-competes are up this coming year, so we're opening one up in Tucson as well.
Yeah. I got a guy looking for to do this. He's been trying to buy an HVAC plumbing service-based business. So
Okay.
he's run one before. So I should
Awesome.
connect
Yeah.
you with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Connect me with you. Well, we'll be there soon. So we'll be there by February of next year.
Oh, interesting. That's cool. So what are the assets that you bring that you get from 0 to $20 million? Like that really, I mean, because somebody in LA, is it a different message than somebody in Tucson or Phoenix? Or
No,
is it
really.
just
I
the
mean,
same?
yeah, same message, same type of people, same needs they have. I mean, we look for, obviously, areas which have older homes that, start having more problems. New communities like, communities that just develop, typically takes about anywhere from, depending on how quickly they built the communities, anywhere from 8 to 12 years before they start having problems.
Yeah.
So we look for older, aging communities of plumbing and homes. We look for,
What
you know,
when you when it what kind of I mean, what does that look like? Those metrics look like you're talking about 1950s house or 1970s or 80s?
yeah, it could be 80s. It could be 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. Even homes built in the 90s now are, starting to have some, issues with plumbing and HVAC. So, even 2000. So we're looking at 20 years plus, sort of average
Yeah.
owner. And then we look for more dense areas that have owner occupied homes, not like people that have homes that have rented or anything like that. And then, based on that, we look at, some of the average household incomes, things like that. We look and see what the competition looks like over there. That it's really not that important, but we like it when there's bigger companies in the market. It just kind of shows that, there's large potential in those areas. And then we just go in there and we start with the greenfield. We start with a plan. We get the right type of management in place, and then we have management training programs. We have a lot of our divisions that network with one another. We have regional VPs that actually go there, help them, sort of like open up the location, work on the location, get all the, training in the locations done and everything else. And internally, we have sort of a hub and spoke type of company. So we have our main office where we have a call center, we have marketing, we have legal, we have HR, we have accounting, our CFOs there. So we have a huge infrastructure that helps support all of these locations. And in the locations, we are mainly forward facing, customer facing. So whatever has to do with, helping the customer get service. So in some locations, we have dispatchers. In most locations, it's mainly technicians, management team, some field support, install manager, stuff like that.
Yeah. So these are not franchises, these separate locations. These are whole subsidiaries or LLCs of the holding company, or what does that structure look like?
Yeah. It's typically just a holding company. A lot of the operating facilities are regionally based and operated. So if we have Northern California might be its own region, and a lot of those companies are operated regionally. So there's a manager, there's like a VP that's sort of overlooking that region. And then we have individual offices where we have brick and mortar where the trucks come and park, and we have equipment and warehouse and stuff like that. And that's where we basically employ our teams that forward face the customer out of.
And tell me, how many trucks do you need and people you need to create $1 million in revenue?
$1 million a year?
Yeah.
Oh, not many, maybe a handful.
Just a handful. And what do you
Yeah.
look to do? You have each goal of $5 million or $20 million, or does it make sense to look for somebody that's can only get $1 million out of the business?
I mean, we go deep and we go wide. We don't try only to go wide, So a lot of times when we start a location, we don't really need too many top heavy management in place. We typically do it with, maybe a field manager, one person in the office. We call it a logistics coordinator that sort of handles the paperwork that goes back and forth between corporate and that location. And basically just an office where we can keep some equipment and and a truck, and the trucks come, and then that's where we have our Zoom meetings, because we use technology to meet up. Like tomorrow, we have a all hands meeting with all of our field staff. It'll all be done by Zoom. They'll all be in their headquarter offices, and that's basically what we use to communicate back with our staff, train them. We have local trainers as well, where they'll do the hands-on work and everything else. But for the most part, we're very much using Zoom, and we're using all kinds of technology to try to communicate.
What's the goal for this? Where do you want to go? Are you talking about building a 50, 100, location? And what's your model? Because it sounds like what you're trying to do, something like Discount Tire does, is, they give equity to the owners, and it's a great model. They're producing, per square footage, tons of money, and people love working there.
Yeah. I mean, that's basically similar to what we're doing. Yeah. We have, locations, just like Discount Tire, like you mentioned. We have management that run it, but we do have the headquarters that supports the, field operations.
Yeah, and the ads are very much the same everywhere you go. Yeah. So tell me about this equity that you offer in the owner. What does that look like? I mean, what can he do with equity? Yeah.
So, there's a short-term and long-term incentive, so if we, we have this goal where, we want to get where we want to get to as a company within the next 3 to 5 years. And when everybody gets there, there's a equity package for the manager that runs that store, for the key employees that are there, and also for, a lot of the, corporate staff as well that's there. So everybody is pulling in the same direction. Short-term wise, we have key performance indicators that we help them achieve, which is based on average tickets, close rates, conversion rates, gross profits, marketing costs. We call it S to R ratios. There's all these key performance indicators that they get short-term incentives on. And then the long-term incentive is, stock in the company. And if we ever do, we're privately held right now, but if we ever do a event where, we sell to private equity, they have stock, they could cash it. It's just as good as gold.
Yeah. Is that the goal? At some point you have an exit to private?
Eventually we'll bring partners in to help us leverage the company to the next level. Right now we've funded our own growth, and we have the capability to keep doing that. So we're going to continue to do that, but eventually we'll look for a partner to help us, help our managers and key employees, cash in some of their stock, and also to help it take it to the next level as well.
Yeah. Well, give me the example. If you were going to set up a location in Tucson, Arizona, and you get an office, you need to find somebody to run it, and then do you fund you get the trucks out there, you paint the trucks, you get all the equipment? Because HVAC cleaning vents is a lot different than plumbing cleaning pipes.
Yeah. Well, we start out with plumbing. That's our core business, drain cleaning and plumbing. And when the business gets to a certain point, we add the HVAC on top of it. So using Tucson as a model, we'll go in there, either acquire a small company or a mid-sized company or a platform company, the company that's already there. Look at the local leadership. If the local leadership has the capability, we train them. We leverage. A lot of times we have to go and redo the trucks, because we like giving our techs new trucks, and we wrap them a certain way.
You give them brand new trucks, not 10 years old.
Yeah, brand new. Yeah.
Okay.
Everything we do. So we actually fund the business growth. Yeah, we put the money in. We make the business forward facing, look good to the customer. Our standard brand, which our guys are uniformed. Our trucks are a certain way. All of our trucks are upfitted the same way. We use the same type of equipment. We train them on that, and then we just go to market. And a lot of times, if we have the right leader in place, we can grow that place pretty quickly to becoming one of the larger companies there. So it's all leadership based, and we do put the time and invest into the growth of the leader. But at the end of the day, we believe in entrepreneurs, guys that, come in and are good at working in a structured environment. And then we give them the support they need to help leverage and grow that market.
And what do you guys charge? Is it you charge more than the average or competitive to get the upsell? Or let me just talk to you about that because of the unit level economics. Usually there's a force tool to keep good employees from the entrepreneur, fair wages, excellent benefits, retirement options, and opportunities for growth, right? To do that, you have to charge a little bit more to do that. Is that the case with Root or Hero?
We're not the cheapest in the market. Yes. I mean, we
Yeah.
do, but we're not the most expensive either.
Yeah.
We look at the win-win all the way around. Customer has to win. Our people have to win, and with that, the company ends up winning as well.
Yeah. And when you come to a new market, let's say it's starting from two options. So one is starting from zero. What do you need to spend to get to a point where you're profitable with the right management, right people?
It's different in every market, and I really have to look that up and look at the averages. But it all depends on the market. It all depends on the penetration of that market. How competitive the market is. That'll tell us how long it's going to take. And a lot of times, there's an average, but I just don't have that answer right now.
Yeah. We're living in Tucson, so we need the AC.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
360 days out of the year. When you guys go look at a market to purchase, how do you find these people? Do you just outreach cold and just start this relationship, or you look for on-market or off-market deals? And how do you buy? Like fair price, or I got to have it because it's within our plans and pay a little bit more?
So a little bit of all of it, right? It's not one or the other. Every one of it is unique to itself. We take a look at a lot of different things, and a lot of times it all depends. So we have an acquisition team here. There's 3 people that are on it that are actively reaching out to companies, and my pipeline is pretty full with opportunities that just hit my desk every day.
Yeah.
And we basically, go through those opportunities. We meet with the owner and we see what their goals are. If their goals are retirement, we look at, how can we help this owner retire? If their goals are, I'm stuck and I want to build this business to the next level, we look and see what we need to do as a company to provide the resources to help that person grow to the next level.
Yeah. And what does that look like for somebody running those businesses? When you say, I know the equities kind of hold off, it really doesn't mean anything till there's an exit event, but how do you guys pay your people? Are they richly rewarded or competitive to the market? What does that look like?
I think we have one of the best pay plans that are out there, because it's very much self-driven, where it means that whoever the individual is and how quickly they can actually, recruit, train, help, get the field staff in place. They can make a lot more, because we look at it and we do quarterly reviews. And the quicker that division grows, both, with gross sales, gross profit, net sales.
Do they get paid on moving up that metric ladder, KPI?
Absolutely,
ladder? Yeah. And
they get rewarded.
Profit shares?
It's
profit.
It's both salary, it's bonuses, and it's profit shares. Yeah, it's all 3 combined.
Yeah. And when I got to ask you, with this acquisition team now, how do you guys buy? Is it just funding out of your cash flow, or do you have to go outside to private equity and borrow some money or something?
Well, we haven't had the need to do that, so we've funded it all through our own company, funds.
curious, what do you offer somebody? It's like they've been running a business for 15 years in Tucson. A lot of businesses here are pretty old. They're 20, 25 years old, and
Yeah.
it may be on the second owner. Uh, what does that kind of offer look like? I mean, do you give them a 50% down in cash, 50% seller financing? What does that usually look like? So most acquisition teams have some kind of, hey, this is how we buy.
Yeah, I mean, we have a way we buy. It's based off of, looking at the company's earnings, and it's a multiple of earnings. A lot of these companies really don't have earnings, they have assets. So we take a look at, is this a lifestyle business for the owner? Is that kind of what they're running? If it's a lifestyle business that's only providing the lifestyle they need, and we look at, what does the earnings look like, and what does it look like when the business is converted? Is we had businesses where not only the owner but all the employees wanted to retire.
That sounds dangerous.
Yeah, so that we look at that and go, okay, well, what are we really buying? We're buying trucks, we're buying equipment, and we're buying maybe a database of customers that may or may not use us, right? So because they're so used to the owner. And then we look at how's that business priced? Okay, are they the lowest price provider in that area? If they are, and we go into the market with our pricing, most likely those customers will go away, right? So we take into account all of that stuff. So when I say no two businesses look alike, I mean I really mean it, because they're just all over the place.
Yeah,
Some
we've looked at some of my businesses in Tucson, and they really boost the SDE up, and that's not really the real cash flow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly. It really isn't. And then they use so many of the add backs that, it's sort of like, adding back my salary, but well, we're going to have to pay somebody to run the business, right? So, and typically that's, all of the profit of the business, right?
yeah.
So, well, if you're adding back your salary and have to pay, somebody to run the business, but you're leaving, then there really isn't an EBITDA there for us to do a multiple on. So then we look at it and say, okay, well, in this scenario, what can we value here? Is it the customer base? Is it the, vehicles and equipment? What is it that has value that we can, and is it a business that fits our model? Because a lot of times, a lot of these businesses are heavily commercial based or new construction based. And if they are, it doesn't really fit our model. So if it doesn't fit our
You're
model,
not, there's residential and there's commercial, or you're more residential than commercial?
we're residential. Yeah, we're COD type of company. We finish the work, customers pay us. We do financing, so we're more geared to residential homeowners.
Yeah. What is your biggest challenge in doing this? Like, what's your roadblocks? Like, I'd like to accomplish this goal in here. This is my biggest challenges.
Well, I mean, really the biggest challenges are leveraging my time, my team's time, so that we're concentrating on the right areas.
Yeah.
We're working on proactive opportunities rather than reacting to, climate changes or whatever's going on. So I think a lot of it is internal. It's like if we focus our efforts and time in the right area and take the risks that we're looking to take to reap the rewards that lie in the future, it's just taking those right risks and making sure time and attention is put in the right place.
Yeah. The problem is you have too many opportunities. How do you do that?
There is a lot. Yeah. I mean, I've had to say no more than yes,
Yeah.
so there's just so many. And then it's, how much time are we spending going down this rabbit hole with the wrong opportunity, right?
Right.
And what does that take you away from?
Something really good, this shiny object. Now, how do you do that? I mean, who do you go to see who do you follow for mentors or mastermind groups? What do you do to sharpen that sword?
Well, I have a couple of groups. I have an industry group that we're actually putting together right now, which is larger, companies that are privately owned. with owners that we meet on a weekly basis. We do financial comparisons and stuff. And then I have a local group that are entrepreneurs that I meet with once a month. And then I do a quarterly meeting as well with a different group. And this is more for strategic planning, goal setting, working on the right stuff, asking the right questions. So there's a few groups I meet with. All of them are designed to do something different. My industry group makes me better in the industry because we compare a lot of business challenges, that we have, and they're very specific to the industry. And then
what are those? Because aside from, hey, just raise your prices, what's after that? Yeah.
I mean, it's not just raise your prices. It's also like looking and going, hey, what are you doing when you have these problems and how are you addressing it? And then learning out of a group format, because, as human beings, a lot of times, I mean, yeah, we create things, but a lot of the creations we create are repackaged from somebody else's creation, right? So looking at what others are doing and what's working for them, and then talking about what we're doing. And so it's more of a give and take relationship. And an example of that could be like, looking at, what we're spending on materials compared to another company like us, and what they're doing in order to, like spend less on materials, right? And they might have a strategic, or we might have a buying power situation where we combine and we're like, why don't we just go and buy that together, because we can leverage a lot more with all of our buying powers instead of one person's.
Yeah. So
right?
you got a group buying when you go to, is it equipment that you buy, or do you actually replace HVAC systems?
Systems, it could be finance rates, if as a group, if we, come in there with $500 million of financing, we get better rates.
Yes, you will. You get single digits if you go to like Wall Street guys. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and looking at, for example, what am I paying for credit card fees and what are you paying? Let's take a look at that. Let's get all three of our numbers together and let's see if, if we go out to market to search for better, rates on, credit card fees, what's that look like? So there's just all of this stuff. And then besides that, meeting with one another, going to their operations, interviewing their staff and learning about what they're doing, there's just a lot of power in networking relationships.
Yeah. Let me ask you about people and what's your turnover with Root or Hero?
It depends on what position. It could go anywhere from 5% to 100%. We have recently put together a new position at the company, which is an onboarding and training coordinator. And their bonuses and stats are all based off of lower, increasing the retention and decreasing the turnover in our staff.
Right.
So that person is making strides and efforts towards that right now, working with our local management team, putting together programs and things like that.
Yeah. Why 100%? Why do people leave in the industry? Is it
It depends on the role. I mean, it's if you have like we notice certain roles have more turnover, and it depends on what the role is.
That, let me guess, it's the role that goes out to the end and cleans the rotors, and is that
I mean, the more grunt work, type of roles that are more sort of, if we don't grow our staff fast enough, we notice a turnover. So you got to like grow them fast enough so they could take on another role. So having that,
upward mobility. Yeah,
exactly, for them to go from one to the next. And then, that really makes a big difference. And having somebody track those numbers and seeing when people are, starting roles of being, for example, a laborer and a ditch digger, right? To becoming a technician, because if those guys are doing it too long, I mean, it's just, it gets really hard to keep in that role for several years without any advancement.
Yeah. How do you pick people to hire that your closer network? Like, what do you look for?
So we look for a good attitude. That's first and foremost.
Yeah.
We look for somebody that can get a driver license, right? Because a lot of times you
That's
have to
minimum.
drive.
Yeah.
So there's
Yeah.
certain things that we look for that are just low level stuff. Like just having the proper documents, having the, being able to drive, not having, DUIs and stuff that are not
Right.
insurable, so
Yeah.
once we get through that, so it's almost like a funnel, we take them all the way through the funnel. And then we look at, it depends on what the role is. So we have on our careers page that pretty much highly defined, what the potential earnings is, what we're looking for in a person. And when we're hiring them, we have them go through that. And if they fit that role, then we bring them in for that role.
Yeah. When you say good attitude, what's a good attitude? A positive outlook on life?
Well,
That's what I see, but what else?
yeah, and also, like just being good with people. I mean, we're like a service-oriented company. We don't, we don't make widgets in a warehouse, right?
Right. Or
We
you never
actually,
see interface. Yeah.
yeah, we're customer interface. So, having somebody that smiles, is polite, somebody you would welcome in your home, right?
Yeah.
That's what we look for, because these are the kind of people I want in my house. So I'm sure they're the same type of people you want in your house. Somebody that doesn't have a criminal record, somebody that, is not going to take advantage of people, someone that's going to be nice to people, someone that's going to be polite, open the door for customers. We have something that we call memorable experience that we do on every single service, is, doing something memorable for the customer, something other than what they're paying us for.
Yeah. Do they get compensated, a bonus from those?
Yeah, the better they perform, the better they get compensated, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. Well, what would somebody make if they were a technician in Tucson, Arizona, going out and, cleaning, whether it's plumbing or HVAC?
We have in a technician role as so we have on technicians, I think the pay is between 85 and 150,
That's amazing.
150,000. We
Yeah.
have field manager roles that make up to 400,000 a year. We have lower level like installers. Installers can make anywhere from 85 to 130,000 as well. Then we have the guys that are doing laboring work, which is anywhere from $20 to $30 an hour. Yeah, so those are sort of the ranges.
Yeah. And on your website, I saw something called the 99 Millionaires. What is that?
We have a goal of helping our people, through life, for them to budget, to plan, and to save, and to create people that are going to become millionaires out there. And we've done quite a bit to help a lot of people become millionaires, and our goal is to create 100 of them. And part of it is through our equity package as well.
So what you were saying is the equity that you distribute or they earn through that, the value right now is worth $1 million to these people if there was an exit event?
There is people that have, valued that over $1 million at this point. Yeah, for sure.
Now, let me ask you about that. If they've been with you for 10 years and say, hey, John, I'm going to retire, they get to sell it back to you at fair market value?
When they've actually fully vested, yes, they can.
Oh, yeah. Fantastic. John, beautiful, man. I wish you the best of luck with Rooter Hero.
Thank you very much. Yeah. I can enjoy what I do. I've been doing this since I was 17, so I kind of found it my lifetime mission to keep going.
That's fantastic. All right, let me pause it right here.
I hope this video has inspired you. If you need help buying your first $1 million business, make sure to visit me at dealflowsystem.net. If you like this video, make sure you subscribe down below. Comment on it, share it, tell everyone about it. And thanks for watching.